Hello, call me Myth, and this video was, so to speak, a long time coming. Also, I apologize for English is not my first language. Now first a little bit about myself so you can get an idea about the topic of today. Now, I don't really like talking about myself. I prefer if other people describe me, it always felt more genuine that way. But for now, all you need to know is that the whole airport staff that interacted with me described me as a patient, kind, genuine, and honest person with nerves of industrial-grade titanium. And if I have ever served you or we chatted while you caught me at work with some free time on my hands, you would probably agree. Now, I don't know about you, but lately I've been an angry man, furious in fact, and disappointed in my job and the world at large basically. And right now, I want just about everyone and everything to cease and desist. Just leave me alone with my cats. Look at them, my babies! Allow me to explain. I work at an airport, and my job is various things, among them being a barista. But right now, that's not important. I'll make another video about it someday, because this one is a public scolding and shaming for all of you. Well, not all of you, but some. You will understand what I mean in a moment. Let me gather my thoughts, because my emotions right now are still boiling. So much in fact that on a whim I impulse bought a cheap drawing thing, plastic board thing for my computer, and I didn't even finish sketching my character nor all the poses and expressions before I said F it and started recording. Because some things need to be said. So, some of you may agree, some might not, but in today's day and age, customer service in any shape or form is possibly the worst job that exists. Like, I can't believe the nerve, the ego, the disrespect, the entitlement of some people. Like, your whole life, you take everything around you for granted. Let me give you an example. I don't know if this was bait or meme or false news or whatever, but in America, workers got shot by patrons because of something like, "You forgot the dip for my fries" or something. But the thing is, I used to think that this was like a meme or someone just trying to troll, but the longer I work with humans, like certain types of people in general, the more I tend to believe that this is an actual thing that happened and probably happened multiple times. Okay? Anyway, about my incident. Just because you have money or bought a ticket and are now flying to God knows what pointless resort, that doesn't mean you're in any way above other people. Like, come on, let this be a newsflash to a particular type of person watching so you don't figure this out in a more harsh way. You can and will be refused service because of your actions. Every year more so, because we are getting more and more frustrated. Like, do you feel me? The customer is not always right. In fact, most of the time you are objectively wrong. This is a term made back in the day when local small businesses had to suck up to people in order to compete with one another. Well, that or some asshat coined the term so businesses would stroke his ego. And it will only get worse. The types of kids and teens I see today. Vapid narcissistic teenagers or peers who need to go to work on a ranch for a couple of years. Two spoiled beyond rotten children that I want to toss out a closed window. The influence of social media and parents using YouTube as a babysitter are overworked and have no energy or just don't want to deal with their kids is horrifying. Like, dude, I am scared for my future and the future of the human race in general. Actually, put a pin on that because I should make a video on that as well, because I have a lot to say. I'm getting off topic again, and I'm sorry. I just have, like I said, I have a lot to say about a lot of things that have been on my mind since forever. Anyway, no matter how expensive the plane ticket was or how much money the reservations cost, if you act like a cunt or are unfit to be on a plane because of lack of hygiene or disregard for other passengers, actually, I gotta remember, I want to talk about that too. But yeah, or disregard for other passengers, you will be denied boarding the plane, and your money will be wasted. I sure hope the resort scammers give refunds. But like, how is this a thing that surprises people? That you are being denied the boarding of a plane? Like, yeah, you paid for it, but there are... Do you not realize, are you not aware that there are like rules you gotta follow? Because flying is still, you know, a big deal. And if one thing goes wrong, which probably will, you are gonna fucking go meow. Okay? Because I have heard stories from pilots that like have coffee with me, especially pilots that fly the routes from the airport that I work at regularly, because they, I don't know why, but they just tend to more often than not go to for coffee when I'm at the bar. At least that's what I've noticed, because that, and also that's what they've told me. But yeah, like I said, the stories from those people, like what some passengers do, like, I'm sorry, but if you're like a passenger on a plane and you're causing such a fucking ruckus that the pilot, the captain of the flying vessel has to go away from his post, from the steering wheel, to see what the fuck is going on, does that not like maybe give you a moment of clarity, like, ooh, maybe I did go a bit too far, you know? And no, if you're like refused service or the boarding of a plane or get offended by something that a worker said, no, you can't call the manager or write a complaint because you got punished because of your own actions and decisions. Like, I never say this word, but bruh. Now, everyone, please, everyone, listen. There is already a shortage of people willing to do customer service, at least in my country, because it is the most unappreciated, underpaid, and unvalued job that exists. Businesses are struggling or closing because they can't get people to work. They just can't. There is no one. And the younger generations are getting wise to the fact that there is a shortage and will demand more and more perks, higher wages, actual benefits, because again, newsflash, but 5 to 10% lower prices for employees is not a benefit, okay? We know you won't fire us if we're a good worker, because we know you can't get another. So don't be surprised next time you go to a shop or bar or what the f*** ever and act all belligerent to the exploited, exhausted, and underpaid workers that you will be denied service or get chewed out by the person behind the counter. This is the worst job already, and we don't need to deal with shit people as well. We already have shit people breathing down our necks. We don't need them breathing in front of us as well, okay? So, finally, the incident in question. It was the 1st of January, 2025. Also, another side note, but I really think that airports and anything that isn't an emergency service shouldn't work or be open for New Year's. Specifically, the 31st of December and the 1st of January. I mean, come on, man. Just come on. Don't travel these 2 days. You don't need to. Any business or job or whatever that requires you to travel at this time, it's just unfair, evil, and should go I'm gonna talk about it another day. Focus. So yeah, it was the 1st of January, and I was already pissed because in December I had to work for my birthday, for Christmas, both New Year days. So I couldn't celebrate anything or be with my family or fiance. Shit luck with scheduling, I guess. Not to mention that I had food poisoning, so I was really hangry, nauseous, sleepless, oh my god. My rear end was burning and my stomach, like I just got a need in my stomach. Oh yeah, and also the emergency services, which are like sadly the only things that like I think, in my opinion, should work for the New Year days. How about, we make it fair, give them an incentive, and triple the pay they're gonna get for those 3 days, huh? Come on. It's only fair, really. So I was already really not okay and disappointed. On the inside, of course, you won't be able to tell if you find me at work because bad moods usually don't get big tips. But yeah, all that, and I was working with a customer, actively exchanging money and discussing the product he bought, which was just regular black coffee. But yeah, and then here comes one of my fucking favorite type of customers, a local traveling abroad that is, as of posting of this video, age 35 or higher. And I say it like that because I have noticed that it is a generational thing. I'll explain some other day. So he just walks up, doesn't even look me in my eyes, and the only thing that comes out of his mouth is "Dva cappuccino." And the tone he used was so... I can't believe the coffee wasn't already waiting for me on the table. The fact that I have to get up and walk to the counter to order is unacceptable. How dare does the world inconvenience me? And so on. If you worked in a bar or anywhere really, you know this kind of tone. You know this attitude when they see you as a lower class life form. With time, you can tell apart the kind of people who would have someone else wipe and clean their ass for them and then complain they are taking too long. Now, before I continue and explain further, I want to say that I know other people can have bad days or life things happen, and I don't judge their behavior for it, nor do I have ill will towards them. I am the kind of person who understands and empathizes almost too much. I know that some people just seem to be a certain way, but are actually amazing. I know all the little details and nuances that people can be scared of flying or are under a lot of stress because flying is a hassle. Flying companies rip you off. The baggage handling and rules around luggage is a joke. And the whole vacation can get ruined because of a 1-hour delay by a plane. But I can also tell when you have no excuse, none, and just act like a because you are one. Case in point, this guy. Not only did he disrespect me in 1 second by not even looking me in the eyes when speaking to me, not greeting me with at least a hello or good day, and an uninterrupting nod towards me when I am actively talking with someone else would have been enough. You would have known that I was looking at you if you could have been bothered to look at the person you're trying to interact with. Okay? No excuse. Or at least say please or whatever. But he also disrespected the customer before him because he basically cut the both of us off mid-transaction and conversation to blurt out his order. Like, he is more important than the man before him, and I was some sort of just robot just standing there for you to order. And the dismissive attitude he had that now since he ordered, he will get what he wants. No, you won't. No. Like, seriously. Like, how is this behavior or mindset acceptable? This is not okay. I'm a mix of 3.5 cultures, and not one sees this as appropriate behavior. Some would aggressively tell you to shove it or even throw hands. So I told the man in a polite, respectful, but firm way that first, you greet people you want to interact with, and second, you will need to wait your turn. A perfectly reasonable thing to say, in my opinion, to remind someone of basic etiquette. A moment passes and he starts with the classic, "How did you just talk to me?" This man was shocked. Shocked, my guy. And his response was completely unfounded and just reaffirms what I said about that kind of person, because I didn't yell or give him a mean look. My tone was not belligerent or annoyed, and I didn't utter a single curse word. In other words, despite my condition, which may I remind you is god-awful at this moment, I still managed to keep myself under control. And yes, I do want to cook in a pat on the head for it. Please, now more than ever. Editing guy here, but like this is like a month, this is like 2 months and a half after the incident, and like stuff with my life happened, and now even more than now than ever. What the fuck am I saying? And people need to know, they need to realize just how I know that you can have a bad day and life problems, so too must you realize and understand that people working and serving you can also have bad days and life problems. Yeah, like the universe does not revolve around you, buddy. I can also be in a bad mood. So, despite being legendary, my nerves broke, composure shattered, and I told this motherfucker in a polite but not so respectful way to his face he had no right to be insulted or upset. His manners were rotten, and he was rude from the very start. He is unaware of his surroundings and what other people are doing, because he is narcissistic and self-centered. He was disrespectful to me and the customer before him. Shame on him. He can sit down, because I won't serve him those 2 fucking cappuccinos, and typical that your kind orders that. And by that kind, I mean there is a stereotype for people from my country to order cappuccinos, not because they actually like it, but because it sounds so fancy, and they have it just to keep up some sort of appearance that they are refined, cultured. Refined my ass, those fucking hicks. Actual narrow-minded worms, thinking that consuming a certain type of beverage means you are something special, intellectual, and important, and sit down. After that, of course, was a bit of loud exchanging of words from both sides, of course. I really couldn't, I really can keep myself under control and have composure, like, as people say, to a pretty much mythical degree. But if you break me, then holy shit, does the damn fucking burst. But yeah, after that there was a bit of loud exchanging of words from both sides. From his side was the classic, how dare you speak to me, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's gonna get me fired. How he never got spoken to in such a manner. Oh, so basically he's the type of person who surrounds himself with bootlickers, kiss asses, whatever the term is. Yeah, thanks for, clarifying that, like I didn't know already. Like then that I'm the worst employee ever and whatever. Not to brag, but here is a gold star for my performance with the secret shopper scheme the airport pulls every now and then to evaluate if we are good salesmen, customer service, up to par. I got top score on everything but upselling and cross-selling, because in my opinion it's annoying, it doesn't work, and it's a really scummy thing to do. And also focus, I will talk about that some other day. And from my side, I basically told him that I'm sick of locals being the absolute worst mannered, disrespectful, most petty, childish. No wonder the world has such an opinion on Slavs. Like, yeah, I completely agree. He eventually fucked off when I dropped, you are a disgrace for our country, and I'm ashamed that you are the one traveling. Like, how does a person like you get to travel and have enough money for such things, and I have to work behind a counter dealing with you? Like, you do not deserve the money you have. Absolute waste of my time and world's resources. Do us all a favor. Go die in a ditch. I'm done with you, scum. After that, there was a bit of more shouting, banging on the counter, yelling that I am not done with him when I started ignoring him. How could I say such a thing? Well then, thankfully, eventually, he left, because like I just didn't bother. Like, no, you are a waste of time. I'm done with you. In the words of some guy from some show that I still didn't watch,
we're done when I say we're done.
Yeah, you think you can just say that to me and turn your back? So when he finally left, I finished my work with the guy before him. It was quiet and super awkward, like, no shit, man. But, you see, a problem that I have is whenever I get angry or upset, and as a result I get into an argument, or scold someone, or fight, or yell, and so on, after the fact I always start to overthink if I even was right, if the way I saw things is incorrect, if I made a mistake and all of this was unjust. But before any of that started, bless his soul, the legend, the person I was working with before was like, damn, I thought that was super rude too, but the way he interrupted and all, but damn, man, that was really harsh. Really? That did not help my case, but fortunately he went on a whole spiel that, like, we need more people like you who don't get pushed around behind the counter, and like who can, stand their ground and whatever. So we chatted, and he later explained that he used to be a waiter in a bar in some bar in Georgia, but he is now the manager of that bar. And some customers, which I completely agree, are downright damaging for business. But if you had people made of sterner stuff that are polite and accommodating and like their job, and they, make the customer happy, but also can bounce back the, as he puts it, undesirable ones, you'd be a happier man. Back on the topic at hand. Well, now I vented and kind of forgot what I was about to say. Well, shit. Look, a little heart to heart, okay? Listen, if nothing else, understand that nothing is for granted, from the coffee at the bar to the plane even arriving. And that doesn't go just for airports. Everything has a lot of moving parts that if one fails, the whole system blows up. You aren't entitled to anything extra because of your money or where you are or status. We aren't here for you. We are here because of you. And I can tell you, because everyone chats with me, that the moment you step into the airport, every single employee you see, the stewardesses, janitors, technicians, police, pilots, store clerks, Billy Joe over there screwing a light bulb, everyone, and I mean everyone, is burnt out, exploited, underappreciated, underpaid for the time, effort, and chronic illnesses that working such jobs will cause down the line. we are also under a lot of stress because despite what I said, some businesses can't learn from the mistakes of others and will fire us in a heartbeat if cheaper labor comes along, and then act all sad and victimized when they will fail because the quality of their service or product will drop substantially. And another thing to talk about, I will make a video about it, is our store chain here called Mercator, who does some really shady like I did the whole suspicious, I don't vibe with this. And also during COVID I was the not manager but like the head of a fish store in one of those big supermarket chains, and oh my god like the things that I can tell you, but this time not customer wise but just really from the inside, how shady they are. Like big supermarket chains, don't trust them. Also, topic, come on. So please give some patience and empathy back to us and have some understanding. The world would be such a better place if everyone would just chill for a second, please. But I know that that's a naive thought, and I am fully aware of it, sadly. To the disappointment of one of my favorite YouTubers, the bastards did grind me down, and I am so tired. I'm so incredibly tired. And for everyone working in customer service, if you are starting out, know that yes, it is underappreciated, but only by the people who never did it or were lucky with an easy location. And it gets easier, like I promise you. It does get easier, but up to a point, you know? It only gets easier so much. And for people who are like a few years in, or you know, this is your life now, just, it might not mean much, but I, a faceless random person who you probably will never meet from the internet, I appreciate you. And I know the struggle. It is a noble profession, but first people need to realize how they are without us. Like, hospitality is a skill, you know? Like a few years back, trash man, garbage man, they were really looked down upon in this country by everyone. The government, citizens, so on. It was an insult. Ha ha, look at this loser collecting trash, ha ha ha. Like very, and I mean like 0.001% of people knew and realized how important the trash man is, how crucial they are to society and infrastructure. Before, only 0.01% of people knew how important they are until the garbage man's soft, and I do mean soft strike, like only collecting trash every other day instead of every day, you know? Something really, you would think it's like inconsequential, but yeah, after that soft strike, after that fiasco, somewhat overnight, their pays were raised from maximum minimum to a wage above the average salary, and now they get way more respect. Some people now even, you know, help them throw trash away, or like make it more convenient for them to pick it up and, you know, yeet it somewhere. Or like people even volunteer to help them out in like a run. They volunteer just so they could get a leg up in getting a job in the field. Like, that's how more respected they are now and more well paid. Like, damn man, overnight, just because people realized how they are without them. When people realize how screwed they are without a certain type of worker, then they tend to give more respect. Yeah, who knew?
Hello again, and really thanks for watching. I wanted to say that it really helped my mood to get this off my chest and just vent and rant a bit. You know, like when I started recording this, it was hard to articulate my thoughts because I was still really angry and just mind bouncing everywhere. And I know I said I started recording this on the 1st of January, but like, when I heard my voice, I was so just, nuh-uh, do I sound like that? Ew, dude. And that delayed this whole thing because of my lack of confidence, since I'm just a little guy. Then, of course, this yucky, exploitative job takes all my time and saps so much of my energy to the point I just want to crash in bed and so on, because the managers think that it is okay for our lives to be nothing but work and sleep till we die. And finally, a thing happened recently that made me really struggle with life, and I will talk about it once I get strong enough for it and get the proper support and encouragement, because I want to help people who are struggling with things and so on. But yeah, all that delayed this thing for a couple of months. Lord knows it wasn't the editing or the custom arts assets I didn't even start making yet. Like, have you seen how awful this video looks? Or did you just have it playing in the background, you cheeky scamp? But yeah, if any of the things that made me start ranting off topic interest you, say so in the comments so I can prioritize making a video on that first. Otherwise, after a break, I'll start making one on why, in my opinion, cars of today are always going to be worse than cars of yesterday. Either that or another rant video about working in customer service that would talk about, I don't know, some things that will come to my mind eventually. I know I have a lot more to say about that, but right now I'm tired and I really can't properly think anymore. It's been a long day. Life stuff happened. I am struggling here. Please give me a cookie and a pat on the head. I really need that. But yeah, thanks again. Music is going to be in the description. Comment if something interests you or just a random video idea, and I will see you whenever I will have time to record and edit more, because like I said, managers and bosses are evil. Also, I know this microphone sucks. It was good enough for people for gaming, but for talking, I know it's garbage. I just need to save up and buy one eventually. Like, this was, I guess it would be 20 bucks. It has a sock over it that I like, just nice big fluffy woolly sock. I'm starting to go off topic again. Take care. And started recording because some things that coined the terms of businesses. How much money your bad moods don't get bit. What is that? It is a general. But doesn't even look mean. Doesn't even look. But he also disrespect. But he also that what I said about that kind of what I said about that kind of people. The universe does not the universe does not revolve around you, buddy. Buddy. It does not revolve around you, buddy. But back on the topic at hand. And another thing, I'm gonna make a video about this. Another thing, I'm gonna talk about it. And another thing, I'm gonna talk about it. Trash collector, garbage. Like a few. It's garbage. Like a few years back. You're garbage, human garbage. I don't even know where that's from. I just heard it. That's somewhere I heard it. And also that doesn't help that it keeps reminding me of cabbage. Your cabbage. What the But I know where that one's from. When people realize how screwed they are without a certain... Maybe this will help. Yeah, okay. Right, so